What's going on? Unapologetic talk. We in the building. What's going on here with my co-host Chucky Atkins? We about to talk about the AFC East. What
Man,
you got to say, my boy?
man, the AFC East is probably, for the last few years, it's been ran by Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, right?
Yeah,
But New England did a smart thing. They went out and they hired Mike Vrabel, and he brings that old New England Patriot brand of football to the table.
he a champion.
Um, yeah, those guys are very, very disciplined. They know what they're trying to do defensively. And with the emergence of Drake May last season, um, they became the toast of the AFC East. So I think that the AFC East would be the same as it was last year. It's a two-horse race between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Um,
And the other two bottom feeders just fight for the
and,
bottom.
and the other two bottom feeders will just be fighting for the bottom. There's been
Yeah,
so much turnover. There's been so much turnover on those two teams
yeah,
within the last year to 8 months, to where it's virtually almost impossible for them um to really even be in the race,
yeah, for sure.
so that's kind of how I see it. Who can stay the healthiest between the Patriots and the Bills? And that's kind of how I see the AFC East this season.
Yeah, I could agree with you. It's only a two-man race. That's really what's going on. So we start off. I
Yeah.
guess then we might as well do like we always do.
Yeah.
Start off with the team who won the division, the
Man,
Patriots.
no, we gonna say the best for last. We're gonna get this trash out the way.
Oh
Cause
man, you
ain't
ain't wrong
nobody,
about that trash.
cause ain't nobody care. Right? We'll start off with the Miami Dolphins. Right? The Dolphins was a measly 7-10 last year. Obviously, they got rid of Tua. They got rid of pretty much all of their skill players with the exception of A-Chain. They
Yeah,
obviously signed a running back, A-Chain to a nice little deal. Um, Tyreek is pretty much gone.
he man,
Um,
that's unfortunate that injury there.
yeah, he tore his ACL and MCM, tore his entire knee. So he's a free agent this year. Obviously, Waddle is gone.
Speed on the outside, he going.
Yeah, he's gone. Um, Tua is
Too.
gone.
This
So
got to be a rebuild for them, man.
yeah, so
I mean,
basically
all the way around.
it's kind of a rebuilding year for the Miami Dolphins. That quarterback they're gonna probably have Malik Willis. Obviously in the wide receiver. In the running backs area, they're gonna have A-Chain. Wide receivers, they replacing Waddle with Tutu Atwell, who was formerly with the Rams, and Jalen Tober, who was an ex-Cowboy.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
like
just
it wasn't that bad.
yeah, he's
But to
he's
say
not
you're
a
gonna
bad
change it,
pickup,
yeah,
but
he's not a bad pickup, but not what you need.
yeah,
You know,
I
I agree.
mean he's solid, but that's not a star or someone that would possibly move the needle. You lose two 1,000-yard receivers
That's that's
at
big.
one time. Like that's tough. So
Yeah,
I don't really expect them to do much. I think last year they were 7-10. I can see them being 5-12 this year. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. That's bad. They still have Ramsey over there.
No, Ramsey gone. Ramsey with the Steelers now.
Oh
He's
man.
been
Oh,
gone.
He's right. He's right. That's right. Oh man, that's right. He left that shit. That's what I'm talking about. So man, they
Yeah,
about
they got rid of Ramsey last year, and they also, Bradley Chubb is gone as well. So defensively, they don't have no names.
offensively. They ain't got no name.
Offensively, they don't have a whole bunch of names. So it's going to be a struggle down there in Miami.
Well, I guess this will be quick. So my question: what you think they're gonna finish? Third or fourth? Because they're between them and the Jets. So, but sounding how looking at what I just heard and what we discussed,
I got them.
I,
I
I
got
might
them.
I might them in fourth.
I got them. I got them coming fourth. I got
Yeah,
them
me
coming in
too.
fourth place.
Yeah, I
In the
agree.
AFC division. You got to get some
They
star
they
power down.
bad, boy. God,
Yeah,
ain't they they
you got to
really
get.
bad.
Yeah, you got to get some star power, and honestly, the only reason why they probably kept A-Chain was because they got rid of everybody else. So
Yeah, I know he
that's
like.
that.
I know he like. Damn, why you ain't get rid of me?
Right. So but they gave him a nice payday, so
Okay.
he'll be fine. But on to the New York Jets.
Last year they finished 3-14.
But I think obviously they've improved at the quarterback spot. Last year wasn't the greatest of showings at the quarterback position for
Uh-huh.
them, but with Justin Fields. This year they got Geno Smith, who's a solid quarterback.
And
He's
it,
been
and it's
solid over the
but he's
years.
been there before. He's coming back round two because he's been
Yeah,
there before.
yeah. He kind of knows New York, the city, and
Yeah.
the organization, which is cool. Obviously, they still have running back Brees Hall, who's a monster, who's a load.
Yes, he is.
Um, along to go with Garrett Wilson, and they brought in Omar Cooper. So that dynamic is still kind of the same with a I would say a more efficient veteran quarterback and Geno Smith. So, defensively is where they basically, I guess, wanted to start over last year because they traded Quentin Williams to us, to the Cowboys,
He's
and
gone.
then they sent Sauce Gardner to the Colts.
I
So
mean,
everybody that they've had defensively, they've pretty much sent
got
on
rid
about
of.
their way. So I guess they're kind of trying to revamp their defense, but I mean, last year they were 3-14. I'd say they'd be 6-14 this year. They'll be tied, or they'll be tied up 5-12 with
with with the Dolphins.
with the Dolphins. So you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like that's kind of what I think about those guys.
yeah,
What
man,
about you?
that's a tough fan. You a fan of the damn Jets and the Dolphins, boy, especially the Jets, man. It's tough. You got to really love your team, boy, because this gonna be a struggle for the next couple of years. The top two in that division is the Buffalo Bills, and that's who we talk about next. And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna say this about the Bills. People
Okay.
they put Josh Allen's gonna be this. Last year was supposed to be his year. You have no
Okay.
Mahomes. Jackson didn't make the playoffs. Well, it's supposed to be your year to win, and the Buffaloes they fall short. Now, mind you, they fired their coach because of that, but
Hmm.
he gets every year same. And I know we're going to talk about them later in another time, Justin Herbert. But just he gets so much pub of being this great quarterback. And I'm not saying he bad. He is a good quarterback. But when it counts, man, he just doesn't. He don't deliver.
Mm,
Because they were supposed to
I,
be.
I, I,
It was supposed to be their year last year. You're top. Because now you got to deal
yeah.
with Jackson this year, and
Well,
you got to deal with Mahomes this year,
here's the thing,
and May.
man. And this is what I think about the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are very talented offensive team.
Very.
Obviously, obviously you got Josh Allen, who's he's thrown for 3,700 yards and 25 touchdowns. Right? You
And you
got
got the running
James.
back.
You got James Cook over there, who's a
Cook.
1,600 yard, you
Yep.
know, rusher with 12 touchdowns. They brought in DJ Moore from Chicago, who's a 1,000 yard receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They still got Dalton Kincaid. They still got um
Khalil
uh,
Shakir
uh, uh,
on
uh,
there.
yep, they still got Keon Coleman. They
Yep.
got Dawson Knox. So offensively they're talented. They fall short a lot of times on the defensive
Defensive
side.
end. Yeah.
Like they can score against anybody, but until
Can't get no
they
stops.
until they can stop somebody, like to me the Buffalo Bills are kind of like the Dallas Cowboys.
They can
Right?
score.
We can score on anybody, but when it come down to getting stops in crucial moments against the better teams, we
That's
always fall we always fall up are falling short. Like Josh Allen is a baller. Like
yeah.
every year he's gonna be, in the MVP race. Every year, at any given time he could put the team on his back and carry him to victory. But it's just something about them playoffs to where when they get down to nut cutting time and it's time for them to get a stop, they just can't do it.
They can't get it done. They
And
can't
and
get it
and and
done.
and, and, and every year they're adding offensive guys
Yeah.
as if that's going to get them over the hump.
Yeah,
You
they
don't
got to
see them. You
score,
don't
man.
see them add anybody on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-mm.
Right? Like they got they what they did get they did go out and get Bradley Chubb, but is he the
I
answer
mean,
after
but
being injured after being injured so many times in Miami?
no.
They did go out and get CJ Gardner Johnson. You know what I'm saying? But is he the answer? Like, regardless of what you got on the back end, if you ain't getting no pressure up front, it don't really mean anything,
It don't mean nothing, nothing,
right?
and
So
that's been a problem.
that's
And also, you know what? They might not. They might need to be like how the Colts were with Peyton. And I'm saying that to say, whenever they were the team, they had home court advantage, home field advantage. They didn't win. But when Peyton, because you're resting your players the last couple of weeks, but when you have to start from that wild card game on, because I think
uh,
sometimes I wonder if that cold weather, even though it's home for them, plays a part in their lack of success. If they probably come in as a wild card, have to go on the road, play indoors, or play in cooler weather, they might prevail. Because I mean, last year, the last couple of years, they've been home in the playoffs,
right.
and they get sent to them. I wonder if it's just like, you know what, because there's so much pressure. And they know it's like, especially last year with Mahomes not there, Jackson being there, it's like I'm the only veteran quarterback between, and the rest was May, and some of the other ones were young quarterbacks in the AFC. I
Mhm.
wonder if the pressure's like, man, we just can't get it done. We have home field advantage we just couldn't get it done.
What if you just won the better team?
But
Like at some point in time, you gotta get some stops.
yeah, that's the defense,
That's
man.
what that's what that's what that's what wins championships. It's the defense. And again, when you're looking at their roster moves, they're making all offensive moves to keep Josh Allen happy. But at the end of the day, if they want to win a championship, they're gonna have to get better on the defensive side of the
Got
ball. And
to.
if they
They got
don't,
to.
then they're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
You
they
know what I'm
that's
saying?
that's what they got to do.
Like every year, Josh Allen's gonna have bulky numbers. His again, I think that the Buffalo Bills are the Dallas Cowboys
Of the
of the
AFC.
AFC. Right? They just in a weaker division. You know, you over there with Miami and you over there with the Jets. So you really ain't like those two guys are it'll be like, putting Dallas if you switch the Buffalo Bills with the Dallas Cowboys, they'll look the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Bills will be in the running for it. They're gonna put up bulky numbers. They both of them guys, Dak Prescott and Josh Allen, gonna throw for a bunch of touchdowns. But when it comes down to the playoff time, and you gotta be
Get a,
more
yeah, you gotta
intentional
get a
about
stop,
getting
and you gotta get
stops
a
and
stop.
and, and field position and things like that, they struggle.
That's been their biggest issue because they've had home field advantage. It just doesn't work for them. But I
Yes.
agree. He is definitely a good quarterback. He's definitely one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
You know, it's just he just gotta. Last year I think was his best opportunity, bro. I don't know if he's gonna get that
Yeah.
opportunity this year.
Now here's the thing. Just like you just said, as far as opportunity, their window may be closed.
It's closing.
You understand what I'm
Definitely
saying?
closing.
Because for the last 2 or 3 years, every year for a minute there, it was Josh Allen versus Mahomes in the AFC Championship.
AFC.
And then Burrow came in there and snuck in there and got one. But now, like you said, Burrow feel like they done got better in Cincinnati, right? New England has felt like they've gotten better because they was in the Super Bowl last
Super
year.
Bowl. Yeah.
The Denver Broncos feel like they
They.
stand a chance of being there because
I mean, 'cause they got
they were
and the
one
only
player.
reason why
They feel like
Mitch
they
got hurt.
yep. That's how so they're feeling that way.
Yep.
Mahomie them feeling like they coming back. They got a
My
chip on their
homeboy.
shoulder.
My
Yeah.
homeboy.
We ain't talking about the Texans. They still out there. They had one of
Yeah.
the better defenses in the AFC
Oh,
last year.
oh, them
So
defense was
it's gonna
tough.
be it's gonna be smoking. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So we'll see what the Buffalo Bills is able to do. They went 12-5 last year. I can see them being 10-7 this year.
Oh, you think they may take a step back? You think they may take a step back
I,
next
I,
year?
I think they could take a step back, man. I just think that they haven't done anything defensively to where it's gonna move the needle for them. And everybody else is getting better. And depending on what their schedule look like, they could go the opposite way. I got them going the opposite way by a couple games, but that ain't gonna mean. I mean, they'll still make the playoffs.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, well, I guess they probably would.
I
They
think they'll
probably
make
still
the
would.
playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs
Okay.
for sure. For sure.
So I know we're going to talk about the Patriots next. Obviously, the team who won the division. But let's go to the Patriots because I want to address something that you said between those two teams. But so the Patriots, Super Bowl team, they didn't win
Mm,
last year.
mm.
But they went. I don't think anybody predicted them to get there. I wonder though. I looked at that watching that game. You saw his weaknesses. I'm kind of wondering if that was a one trick pony. Like it worked for them to get
No,
there last year. I'm just wondering, will
mm-mm,
now teams be able to say, okay, we see what May can and cannot do, and then
no.
we'll play to that, but it'll be consistent.
I think that they'll take a step forward from the mere fact that you got to think Drake May was doing all the things that he did last year without a true number one receiver. Now you
Yeah,
give him a
yeah.
bigger target and a guy like AJ Green who's fast and can run routes and is going to demand a double team, and they're going to throw him the ball, unlike what Philadelphia did with him last year. Then all of those other guys, he got Romeo Dobbs over there. You know what I'm saying? He got Henderson at running back. So those guys are all going to take a step forward. And one thing about the New England Patriots and a Mike Vrabel coach team is that they're always going to be well coached. They're always going to be prepared.
Yeah,
So
he's
you
especially
don't
on the
see
defensive end.
you don't see a whole bunch of teams running up a whole bunch of points on him. And I think last year in the Super Bowl they played well enough defensively to win the Super Bowl. Just offensively they didn't have
They
enough
couldn't, they
to
couldn't
get
get
it
him.
done.
Yeah,
So you taking their core group defensively back next year, they're gonna be a lot better because everybody's gonna understand their assignment a lot better. You give Drake May his third year, and he's going to be a lot better because he's confident and know what he can do and maybe what his weaknesses are. And then you come in, you give him a Romeo Dobbs and an AJ Brown who's coming in hungry to prove that he's deserving and that they did him wrong in Philly. I think that they're the team to beat in the AFC East.
I was surprised that the Packers let Dobbs go, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Packers was loaded over there with their receivers, so
He
somebody
was
had
just,
to
but
go. And I don't know if
he's
they,
so reliable. He was so reliable,
yeah, but
though.
they may not wanted to pay him though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely a good pickup for Drake. My thing is when it comes to you having old boy over there, Brown, because he's good, so good. I think they're going to shade the defense. So he might not get the same amount of touches still because they know that's the number one receiver. They may shade to him to
Um,
try to take him out the game, which is going to cause issues. I think then with him and May, throw me the ball, but you're double team.
well,
So I'm wondering how that's going to
well,
work.
I think that the reason why the Patriots went out and got an AJ Brown is because a coach like Mike Vrabel can handle him, can put him in positions to where he can do successful. And then when things ain't necessarily going his way, he can pull on his coattail and say, "Hey, man, listen, man, we don't do that over here. You
Right.
already know how we do. Already know how we do. You played for me in Tennessee. I don't think that Mike Vrabel wanted to trade him when he was in Tennessee. So now he has an opportunity to get him back in a situation where he can go to a team and be that piece offensively that they were missing.
Yeah.
Everybody it works best for everybody. But I do think that the New England Patriots will win the AFC East. I do think that Drake May will have an even better season because it ain't gonna be no pressure on him. He got two good offensive receivers, and he got two running backs that are very, very good. So it ain't like you can just get up there and just say, "Hey, man, we're gonna we're gonna double team AJ Brown and this, that, and the other," because those running backs are hurt you. They
They'll
got
run
yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel will run the ball.
And he will run it. He will run it, because he coached old boy now in the Ravens for a
Henry,
while. So
Derrick Henry,
Derrick Henry, so he'll definitely run it. If you feel he got
right,
something to run, you want to do that? Oh, okay, yeah, we'll run that bad
right,
boy. So
yeah. So.
yeah, the Patriots. I think it all hinges on Drake. My verdict to see how Drake may play this year. I'm trying to want to will he be able to duplicate that same type of performance?
Yeah.
Because even last year, even when they did as good as they did, they still teams weren't still looking like okay, the Patriots are gonna get through. It's still kind of like he playing well, but when it comes down to it, it won't. But hey, he pulled it off, and he was able to get his team to the Super Bowl.
I think last year was kind of the perfect storm for them, right? They got off
And
to a
that's one
decent,
reason why I'm saying that a
they
little
got off to a good
skeptical.
start, but I mean that things like that happen. It's the
It does.
NFL. Like, hey man, a team will get going and get that and catch that stride and get that chemistry going at the right time, and you ride the wave, right? Who knows what would have happened hadn't Bo Nix gotten hurt from the Denver Broncos last year. So, they got hot at the right time last year, and I think that last year was a time for him to prove that he was capable of being a big time quarterback. So that
I mean,
was very, very
he did a
good.
good job. He did good. I ain't gonna
Right.
front on
So
him. He
that so
did
that
good.
was so Right. So that was very, very good for him that he's proven that he can be that guy. So now this year coming into it, I'm pretty sure everybody has high expectations, and getting back to the Super Bowl is probably the only thing that's on their mind, or should be.
Well, I definitely think they're going to win their division. I just don't know if they're going to have the same success that they had last year.
Well, hey man,
But
one thing about playoff teams, right? Once you've been there and you've gotten to the mountaintop, like for me, it's going to be to see how mature they are and how they're going to approach the regular season. Because I remember when I was playing, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Man, we ain't regular season was just a regular season. It wasn't nothing to be excited about because it's another 82 game season. So what's the difference between having home court advantage and not? Hey man, you still got to win a game on the road. So we didn't really care about all of the stuff that meant a lot to us the year before.
right,
So with those guys, it's like, hey man, okay, let's get into the playoffs and let's be healthy. And we know if we play a brand of football, that we can win football games on the road or at home, because Mike Vrabel is proven to be able to do that.
yeah,
So that's kind of what I'm looking for out of those guys. I want to see how AJ Brown fits. I want to see if he's the AJ Brown of the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, or is he the AJ Brown of last year that was doing a bunch of bickering and complaining and ultimately, kind of messed their team up a little bit.
and
So it's going to
I
be
think that's what
interesting
a
to
lot
see.
of people are wondering about him on that aspect. Like, is that which one is going to show up?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And I think that's gonna be a must TV there. So we'll see. So Josh Allen, do you think his talent is being wasted over there? Like, do you think that they get to
No.
maximizing?
No,
Okay,
I don't think. I think what you're seeing out of Josh Allen, he was going to do anywhere he was at. The only thing that he
okay,
ain't done right now is just won a Super Bowl. But I mean, if you look at the way he plays and you look at the numbers and how he maneuvers, like Josh Allen is going to be Josh Allen. I don't care where he at. You take him out of Buffalo and you put him in San Diego, you're going to get the same thing.
yeah,
But one of the hardest things to do in sports is win a Super Bowl. You
artists.
know, you know, You got 11 guys that got to be on the same page at all times. That got to be communicating with each other. That got to sacrifice. That got to like that's one of the hardest things to do. It ain't basketball where you only got five. You got 11 guys
Yeah,
that got to be on the same string and thinking one mindset the whole entire game. If one person is out of place, it's a touchdown. That's how good those guys are. So you know, Josh Allen does his part, and he's only on one side of the football. I don't care what type of numbers he's putting up. If they not gonna get no stops, they gonna lose.
if he could score 35, but the defense give up
Yeah,
36,
yeah, you're gonna lose. You're
he
gonna
gonna
lose
put
every
it
time. You're
every
gonna lose every
time.
time.
So then, sticking with the teams in there, how long do you think the Jets can keep rebuilding without, getting a quarterback, finding their quarterback? Like, how will they go? Like what we talked about earlier, they seem to be in
Uh,
the top five every year. How
I
long you?
think I think for another 2 to 3 years, just simply because then they just get a new coach.
Yeah, yeah,
I think they just got a new coach. Yeah, you got to give him a little time. I mean, he did a good job in Detroit as their defensive coordinator and had them on the verge. And you see what happened to Detroit after he left. Like they didn't even do as well as they did the year before,
right.
right? So
Yeah,
now last year the Jets won 3 games. They won them all at the very end of the year, which gives them a little momentum going into this season. So you got to give him an opportunity to put a team together and see if he could turn things around.
yeah. And it's time when teams are losing, they tend to want to get rid of people so quick. But you got to give them time. You got to give them
Yeah,
time.
you got to give Coach Glenn. You got to give him a little bit of time. I think last year they started out. They had an awful beginning. They were trying to play Justin Fields. He proved not to be the answer. Um,
I feel sorry for that
so
brother, man.
yeah, I mean, but that happens. You know what I'm saying? And I don't
Right.
know. I honestly don't think that Justin Fields is that bad. You know, like we spoke of the other night. It might just be the fact that, you know, Justin Fields hadn't had the same offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Or they're playing a style that's not conducive to how he plays or to his strengths. So
Now,
like,
and I will say the teams he's gone to haven't been the greatest. I mean, you
right,
get to the Jets. The
right.
Jets is not a great team.
So it's hard to evaluate him and say, oh, that he's the reason why they're not winning. But I mean, you know, the first year when they got their Sauce Gardner, people didn't even throw at him. Last year, I'm watching everybody throw at him, and then they got to a point to where it was like, "Hey, man, we're gonna go a different direction, right?" Same thing with Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams was doing his thing at the very beginning. His first 3 years, he had 12 sacks or something like that. The year before, and last year, he was like, "Man, let's trade this guy while he still has some value."
And then because he had that great year, they just double teamed him, and they knew
Right.
there was
As
nobody else that
as
was
as as they should have.
right.
You ain't got nobody else. If that's the problem, you cut the problem off at where it's at. Hey man, well, let's
No,
double team him. Let's do whatever we got to do because they ain't got nobody else on defense.
they don't too much. So
Right.
between the Patriots and the Bills, who do you think has the best opportunity? Like, which team do you think is of those two are more Super Bowl bound?
I mean, you'd have to say the Patriots.
Okay, because they got there last year.
Not only did they got there last year, they have a head coach that understands how to play situational football and to have his players playing the best when their best is needed, and that's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you got to give Mike Vrabel like. I don't think he get enough credit because he's a hell of a coach.
But saying that, yes, but Vrabel's a good coach off the field. But what about Josh Allen being a better quarterback than May on? Like, you can have a great coach,
Um,
but you want your person to be
um,
on the field that's better.
is okay. Is he a better quarterback? We don't know that.
Right now,
He has
today, I would
he.
say he's better than May.
Why? Why would you say that?
That he's a better runner. He's a better runner. I think
Okay.
he's a better deep thrower of the two.
Mhm.
I would think he's better than May. I mean, May's only in his third going to his third year. I wouldn't put him on a level of a
Yeah.
Josh Allen yet.
Yeah. You're saying that yet because he hadn't had the amount of time that Josh Allen
Josh
has
Allen,
had.
right.
But if you look at the numbers, the man threw for 4,300 yards last year.
I mean,
He
that's a
threw,
lot. That's a lot of
listen,
yards.
he threw for 4,300 yards and 31 touchdowns without a number one receiver, without a real number one receiver, right? So like, so like, what more could you have done? Being
Because I know you mentioned Vrabel as being a good piece, but he's off the field, and that's why I'm wondering that Vrabel's not out there. Right.
as long as Drake May is playing for the New England Patriots
Hmm.
and he has Coach Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel gonna have a good defense. I don't give a damn if he ain't
Yeah.
got nothing else. I don't care if his offense ain't worth nothing.
They're gonna
He
play
gonna have a
defense.
good defense.
Yeah.
So now you give him somebody like a Drake May who has the capabilities to throw for 4,300 yards and 31 touchdowns, and you go out there and you give him an AJ Brown, somebody who has the ability to go out there and catch 1,700 yards. If he get anything else right, everybody, because one thing about the New England Patriots, they ain't gonna turn that ball over a lot.
That's a staple of them. They don't turn that bad boy over much at all.
You play the New England Patriots, they gonna have a stout running game and they gonna play defense.
Cause I know on the Belichick, boy, I remember running back former that bit. He ain't played no more the game. He's like, nope, we don't do that.
It'll be the same. It'll be the same thing for Mike Vrabel.
Yeah,
So the combination of a Drake May and a Mike Vrabel will possibly work, right? Hey, why didn't Lamar Jackson and his old quarterback work? Every year they gonna put up numbers. Every year he gonna he gonna be in an MVP race. But when it come down to the playoffs, guess what? You'll watch Lamar Jackson throw the ball 50 times, and they just could not get it together in the playoffs. Don't
I
mean that
don't
he's a
think.
bad player.
No, I think coaches
You know what I'm
overthink.
saying?
I think the coaches overcoach and overthink stuff, man. But I think they overthink their situation.
Right.
You be like, damn, why y'all doing all this throwing? That's not what got you. But
Hey, look, you got Derrick Henry, you got King Henry in the backfield, and you got Lamar Jackson back there, and you get to the playoffs, and you lead the league in rushing, and then you get to the
Uh,
playoffs and you throw the ball 50 times and you lose, and you wonder why you lose. Like that's like is that Lamar Jackson's fault? Part of it
no,
is
that's,
probably,
that's bad coaching. That's
but that's
bad
bad
coaching. That's a
coaching though,
bad
right?
coaching. Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
Drake May. I think Drake May and Mike Vrabel is a heck of a combination, and they're gonna be there for a while.
Yeah, I could, but definitely know May gonna be there for a while. I can see May. I mean, Vrabel doing there because, like you said, he's definitely a good coach. He was good down there in Tennessee. His defense is always gonna be good, and so I think he's gonna try to put that Patriot, that old Belichick Patriot stamp on these
Absolutely,
guys. Do your job.
absolutely,
Do your job,
absolutely, absolutely.
and it's proven to win. As for you get to the Super Bowl, I
Right,
mean, it's a good
right.
building block. Expectations now, because now you got there.
Yeah, but
You know,
expectations are, and like if you don't, if this is the pros, if you don't want the expectation of being a champion, then this ain't where you supposed to be.
yeah. Well, that's
You know what
usually
I'm
a lot of times
saying?
the expectation because pressure. And a lot of times you see
What
under pressure how people actually how they
what,
fare
what
under
I'm
pressure.
what I'm looking at is a guy like a Drake May that that got his team to the Super Bowl with limited,
Resources. Yeah.
with limited resources.
Yeah.
Now you actually giving him something this year, so it's like okay, hey man, those guys they evaluated how their season went last year too. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Hey man, this guy did this with this. If we go out there and get him a little something with the defense that we got and how we play, we got something.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that thought process. Definitely. I can see it.
So that'll be that.
So that was the AFC East breakdown, getting ready for the season. And I know tonight
So,
there's the Hall of Fame game. So, if
yeah.
y'all might tune in to watch that. But that was the AFC breakdown. So let's go how they gonna finish. Who's first, second, third, fourth? What you got?
I got New England Patriots first. I got the Buffalo Bills second. I got the New York Jets third. I got the Miami Dolphins fourth.
I'm with you. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna switch the top two. I'm gonna go Bills one, Pets two.
Okay.
Josh is gone. He's gonna be a little bit better this year. New offense. I think that's gonna be something that both all the teams ain't seen before, which may be a little bit okay. And I think it may catch them off a little bit off guard. So I'm gonna go Josh Allen one, Buffalo Bills one,
Mm-hmm.
Pats two, and I don't even care. They can fight over third and fourth. But I think both teams are gonna make the playoffs. I strongly believe both of those teams will make the playoffs.
Yeah, of course. Of course it is. I mean, they're going to fight. I expect that race to go down to week 17, week 18.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna
You
be
know what
tight.
I'm saying? So yeah, it's going to be tight. So I expect them to do that. And then, whichever one comes in second place will be a wild card team, basically.
Basically, yeah. I agree. I agree, my boy. I agree with you.
For
So
sure.
thanks for tuning in, y'all, to the AFC breakdown. Is NFL talk on the unapologetic talk. Again, it's Grandma Ann with my boy, her co-host Chucky. We repping as always, but
For sure.
we'll be doing an NFC team next. So y'all just tune in, share, pass this on to everybody so you can help our page grow.
And subscribe,
And
please.
definitely subscribe to the page. So y'all have
Respect.
a good evening. Unapologetic talk, baby.
Holla.
Holla.